Hello everyone, welcome to ThinkComputer YouTube channel. In this video, I will give you an introduction to loops in Java. So these are the things that we will discuss in this video. What is a loop? Why do we need a loop? Types of loops, components of a loop, execution of a loop, examples, and also uses of loops. So what is a loop? We can say a loop is a part of a program that repeats itself several times based on a given condition. Why do we need a loop? Well, loops allow us to perform certain operations repeatedly without having to write the code multiple times. This saves time and effort and also reduces the size of the program. I'll give you an example. Look at the left hand side. To print a message 5 times, we could have written print statements like this. Okay? Now imagine if I have to print this same message 50 times, then I will have to write it 50 times, right? But if you look at the right hand side, using a loop, this can be done in just 3 lines. That too, if you exclude the curly braces, just 2 lines. I run a loop from 1 to 5 with an increment of 1, and the loop runs 5 times and does the same thing. So if I had to print the same message 50 times, then I could have just written 50 in place of the 5 over here. And that will do the job, right? So this way it will reduce the size of your program, save your time and also the effort. So there are 3 types of loops in Java. Mainly we have for loop, while loop and do while loop. Out of which for loop and while loop, these two are known as entry controlled loop, whereas do while loop is known as exit controlled loop. So I give you example. This is example of for loop in Java. This is example of while loop. This is example of do while loop. All of these examples doing the same thing, printing 1, 2, 3 on the screen. Let us understand the components of any loop. There are 3 components, whether it is a for loop or while loop or do while loop. We have initial value, we have condition check, and we have update statement. Okay? Please keep in mind that a loop may have multiple initial values, multiple conditions and multiple update statements, which I will be explaining in my next video of loop topic. Okay, so if I see the first example, here the initial value is I equal to 1, which is placed where? In this statement. This is called the loop header. This line in the for loop is called the loop header. So I equal to 1 is there as the initial value. And the same thing in the while loop will be before the loop begins. I equal to 1 will be written before the loop. Okay, so before the while we will write it. In do while loop also it will be written before the do while loop begins. Okay. About the condition check in the for loop, the condition check is also placed just beside of the initial value, whereas it has been placed in the while, in the bracket inside the while, in the while loop. Okay, and in a do while loop the condition check is placed at the very bottom, just where the loop is going to finish there. About the update statement will go just beside of the condition check in the for loop, whereas in the while and the do while loop it will be just before the loop is closed. Okay, you see here and there. Now let us understand the execution of loop. Okay, so I'm going to do dry run for all these examples. Let's start with this example. Here I is 1 initially. Okay, so condition check will be done after that. I less than equal to 3, it will enter in the loop. It will print I, which is 1. Then it will go to I plus plus. I will become 2. Then again it will check the condition 2 less than equal to 3. It will enter and print I, which is 2. Again it will go to I plus plus. I will be 3. 3 less than equal to 3. Again it will enter, print I, which is 3. Again it will go to I plus plus 4. 4 less than equal to 3 false, so it will just exit the loop. Okay, remember if I want to increment by 1, I am writing I plus plus, but if I am going to increment by 2 maybe, then I will have to write I equal to I plus 2, or I will have to write I plus equal to 2. Okay, so increment by 2 it will be I plus equal to 2, otherwise it will be I equal to I plus 2. These two are correct. If you write I plus 2, that will be wrong. Keep in mind. Similarly, if I have to decrement by 1 or 2, decrement by 1 is simply I minus minus, but if I want to decrement by 2, then it will be I minus equal to 2 or I equal to I minus 2. Similarly, decrement by 5 will be I minus equal to 5 or I equal to I minus 5. That is the correct way of writing it. I minus 5 if you write, that will not work. One more thing. So in this place, instead of I plus plus, if I write plus plus I, that will also be same. There will be no difference writing I plus plus or writing plus plus I. Let us understand the execution of the while loop. So same way we have I and output I am writing here. So first I will be initialized 1. While I less than equal to 3, that is 1 less than equal to 3, correct, it will enter in the loop and it will print 1. Then I plus plus will make it 2. Again it will go to the condition check. 2 less than equal to 3, correct, it will print I, which is 2. I plus plus I will be 3. Again it will go to condition check, 3 less than equal to 3, correct. Again it will print 3. Then I plus plus, it will become 4. Again it will go to condition check, 4 less than equal to 3, false. So it will exit the loop. Okay, so in both of these examples, for and the while loop, we see the condition check is happening at the beginning of the loop, at the top of the loop. That is why these two are called entry controlled loop. Whereas in the do while loop, when I show you the execution, see I and output I am writing here. So I is 1 and it will just directly enter in the loop. There is no condition check because there is no condition at the top. The condition is placed at the bottom, right? So it will directly enter in the loop. It will print I, which is 1. Then I plus plus will happen. It will be 2. It will check while 2 less than equal to 3. Yes. So it will go back to the do, the place where do is written. Then print I. Again it will print 2. Then I plus plus it will be 3. While 3 less than equal to 3, correct. Again it will go to do. Print I. So it will print 3. Then I plus plus it will be 4. 4 less than equal to 3, wrong. Then it will exit. Means as long as the condition is correct, it will go back to the do. That is the repetition. And as soon as the condition is false, it will simply exit. So the control is placed at the bottom of the loop, or you can see at the exit it is placed. That is why it is called exit controlled loop. There is one concept here. In for and while loop, the loop will execute minimum 0 times. Keep in mind. Okay, means if the condition is false, the loop will not execute at all, right? Whereas in do while loop, the loop will execute minimum 1 time. That means even if the condition is false, the loop will execute once. Okay, and after that only it will terminate. Now these are some examples. The first example is an example of finite loop. Finite loop means a loop which will terminate after certain number of times. Okay, so all previous examples which I showed you were also finite loops. So here in the first example, the loop will execute 5 times, then the loop will terminate. But here onwards, I am showing you examples of infinite loop. Now, what is infinite loop? Infinite loop means a loop which will never terminate. Okay, or will only terminate when the system will crash. Means it will overload the BlueJ system and then it will crash. Unless it will crash, it will keep running. So infinite loop, how? See, i's value is 1, right? And the condition is that I should be greater than equal to 0, which is obviously correct. But then I am incrementing the value of I. Now the thing is, every next value of I, whether it is 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, or it can be anything, will be obviously greater than equal to 0. That means the condition will be always 0 from there onwards. So it will keep on printing the message hi on the screen, thus making it infinite loop. In this other example, the condition part is blank. Okay, this is not possible in for loop only. This kind of infinite loop structure is not possible in the while and do while loop. Okay, only in the for loop we can keep the condition part blank, so that the computer, means the compiler, will take the condition to be true. No condition means condition true. That is what it is considered. Okay, so it will keep on executing and I will keep increasing and there is no condition check, so the loop is going to run forever. Okay, similarly in this example also, in the place of condition I have written true. So when you put true in the condition part, the condition is true. It's considered like that. So the compiler will consider it to be true and the loop will keep on running, thus making it again infinite. More examples. This is also infinite loop. The initial value, the condition check and the update statement all are left blank. So in this format, in the Java, it is considered infinite loop. The loop will keep on running. No values will increase. It will be just keep on running. In the other example, the Boolean variable I have taken true. So again you place a Boolean variable there in place of a condition, and because the variable's value is true, it will keep on running. This is also infinite loop where while I have used. Okay, so I is 1, 1 is greater than 0, and obviously it's print high, and then I plus plus 2, 2 greater than 0, and then goes on like that. Every next value is greater than 0 only, right? Again, this is also infinite loop. The last example, this one, where I have written while true. So true means condition true, the loop will keep on executing. Now these are few examples of do while with infinite. Okay, so I is 1, print 1, no update statement. You see I plus plus I have not written, and in condition I have written while true. Again it will keep on running because while true means condition always true. This example also is infinite loop. I is 1, print 1, I plus plus 2, 2 greater than 0, again prints 2, 2 plus plus 3. So it will keep on increasing the value and every next value is greater than 0. Just like the first example of infinite loop which I showed you. So this is also infinite loop. I'm showing you a code on the screen. Okay, guess the output. What do you think is the output of this code? You can pause the video at this moment and you can first calculate the value and then I'll tell you what is the answer. If you thought the output is 5, 6, 7, 8 by, then you are wrong. Surprised, isn't it? Let me tell you how. Well, this is actually a special type of loop called bodiless loop, also known as null loop, also known as empty loop. I want you to notice at this part. Did you notice something there? A semicolon, isn't it? Now, see this example. So this is a normal loop and this is a bodiless loop, null loop or empty loop, right? What's the difference? This is the difference. Look, over here and over there. Do you notice there is a semicolon in this part which is not present in the normal loop? So how that is the difference? I tell you. In the dry run of the first one, I'm going to make a column of A. Output I'm writing here. So A is 1. Then I'm changing A back to 5. Okay. So 5 less than 9. You thought to print A, but it will not go there. Because there is a semicolon over there, it will disconnect the loop header with the loop body. That means this print A is not anymore part of the loop. That means after checking the condition 5 less than 9, it will directly go to A plus plus and then 5 will become 6. Again 6 less than 9, it will do A plus plus 6 will be 7. 7 less than 9, again A plus plus 7 will be 8. 8 less than 9, again 8 plus plus, that is going to make the A 9. 9 less than 9 false and then the loop will terminate. When the loop will terminate, then it will print the final value of A, which is 9 at that point. And then the next print, which is by, will print and then the line will change. On the other hand, in this example, if I show you column of A and output, see A is 1, then I change A to 5, 5 less than 9 condition correct, it will enter in the loop, print A, which is 5, then A plus plus A will be 6, 6 less than 9, then it will print 6, A plus plus 7, 7 less than 9, it will print 7, then A plus plus 8, 8 less than 9, it will print 8, then A plus plus 9, 9 less than 9, loop over, so it will exit the loop and then it will print by, so that is the output. That means if I do not give the curly braces, then also you know that one statement is included in the loop, isn't it? So then this statement is included, but if I give the semicolon, then it disconnects the header of the loop with the body of the loop and then thus making it bodiless, null or empty loop. Okay, so be careful whenever you get any question where the semicolon is given or not given. You have to look for the semicolon, right? So what are the uses of loops? Well, loops can be used for printing series, printing sum of series, printing patterns, for number problems, for string problems, for array problems. Anyway, so in the upcoming video, I'm going to explain you about different type of programs that we will solve with using loop.